my time.
Davidson looking for the lead. We're in the final minute. Curry got it!
Here's Curry. Quick release for three. Left side. Ring it up for Stephen Curry.
It's my time.
Is Stephen Curry's time with the New York Knicks a match made in heaven? Maybe. He was a great collegiate scorer. The Knicks certainly liked to score under Mike D'Antoni. They were +9 in his first season there, though that was still only good for 14th in the East. They were also the highest scoring team in the Eastern Conference, which is good for individual numbers like those of David Lee, who had 65 double-doubles as he heads into restricted free agency along with Nate Robinson this summer. And J.A., from the moment Stephen Curry declared, the world had him pointed toward the New York Knicks, but they have to be able to get him with that 8th overall pick. How likely is that to happen?
Well, a lot of projections have Stephen Curry going by the 6th pick, currently occupied by the Minnesota Timberwolves. But part of the reason for the excitement is that the last time Stephen Curry was in Madison Square Garden playing a game against West Virginia, he scored 13 points in the final 5 minutes of that game. So certainly an exciting player, loves playing on that stage, and also his style would fit what the Knicks are trying to do on offense. He's a guy, as one GM says, you cannot leave him because he'll get a shot up quickly. So you can't help on him. So you're going to spread the floor the way the Knicks do, and you're going to need a scorer to fit that high-scoring offensive system. Stephen Curry certainly would be a desirable player, but they just are not certain that he's still going to be available at that number 8 pick.
Yeah, the Knicks picking 8th. Chad Ford of ESPN.com, who keeps us updated with mock drafts, currently has Curry going 6th to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's talk about the players' needs. What team would suit him best?
He's a big-time shooter from the field, in particular a three-point shooter, and he's a great free-throw shooter. So if I'm Stephen Curry, instead of going 5th or 6th, I wouldn't mind falling to the 8th to the New York Knicks. And this is why. He doesn't have to be a prototypical point guard if he goes to the Knicks. Why? They play up-tempo. More shots, more possessions. He doesn't have to set up and run the team and be a guy that gets 10 assists. And by the way, just like the Knicks led the league or the Eastern Conference in scoring, they're one of the worst defensive teams in the league, and defense will not be an emphasis. It'll be all about shooting and scoring.
And that we know he can do. He was the nation's leading scorer. In fact, Loyola of Maryland went triangle and 2 on him. They held him scoreless, but then they lost the game by 30. Curry will learn his new team Thursday night. As for his best NBA position, that remains to be seen. Here's the man himself explaining how he views the job description for a point guard.
Well, as a point guard, you're the anchor for the team, and when things are going, south, you have to be the one that your teammates can look to get you through those tough times. So during the course of a season, there's a lot of those instances, and you have to be the one that can pull them through. So just being a vocal leader, being accountable to your teammates, and being the hardest work on the team is something that defines a true point guard, and a great one.
Well, he played both spots in the backcourt as a collegian in 07-08 when he was a shooting guard. Curry shot better from the field and from behind the three-point line. Last year as a point guard, his scoring was up, but he didn't shoot the ball as well, and obviously his assists and turnovers both went up as well. Coach, you've seen so many guys come through college and wind up needing to change position as pros. Which backcourt spot suits Curry better?
Well, what we do know right now, in terms of speculation, there's no argument that Steph Curry's the best shooter available in this draft. And the question is, can he make the transition to the point guard spot? Is he going to be strong enough against NBA defenders over the course of an 82-game schedule to get the ball in the operational area? Is he going to understand time, score, and situations? But worst case scenario, you've got a dead-eye marksman, a rifleman from downtown long range. And this year he proved himself. He can create off the bounce some and create distance between himself and defenders to get his own shot off. Now, our friends at EA Sports broke things down, and I bet you didn't know that 10% of Steph Curry's shots came on the catch and shoot spot up opportunities. And here off the ball, a little defense here with the interception, picks one off, and 24% of his scoring came in transition, and then 27% was in isolation. where he was able to break defenders down in situations where there were M&Ms, mismatches. His ability to move without the ball is one of the strong traits as well. But the big question with Steph Curry is he hasn't played the point guard spot his entire life. When you look at the history of the NBA, just like in football and the NFL, most great quarterbacks played that spot from Pop Warner, 3rd, 4th grade on. Now, there are exceptions in basketball, players who've made that transition, but to do it at the highest level in the NBA, no easy task.
And, there he was excelling against virtual college players. It's going to be more difficult against real-life NBA guys.
Yeah, baby.